What would you grab if you had to leave the house right now? Let's talk about it. And we're back! Welcome back to 5 Minute Knives, a channel that would never turn its back on a ginger. Today, we're gonna have a nice thought experiment here. Every channel does bug out videos, bug out this, bug out that. We all kind of realize that bugging in is better in most cases. And then when it comes to bugging out, we all have that fantasy of building the shelter, finding the water supply, shooting the elk, and or the Red Dawn scenario where we lead some sort of counterinsurgents against an invading force of some kind. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you guys picture, but I always pictured various scenarios in my head, often fantasies, if you will. But if I really sit down and think about it, obviously I'm going to bug in. I'm going to stay home, I'm going to mind my P's and Q's, I'm going to be a good boy, be as quiet as possible, and occupy myself. But if I had to leave my place, if I was forced out and I had to go, what would I grab? And I think I have it down to what you see on the table here. For the most part. This is it for the most part. Obviously, I have a backpack. In that backpack has water filtration, a change of clothes, a medical kit. I'd probably bring a copy of Unkillable Joe, the best book ever written by a human being, for entertainment. But I really had to think about it. So here's what I'd bring. I have various mechanisms, as you guys know. But if I'm bugging out, so to speak, I live in a city. And I noticed doing security that I dealt with the same homeless people all the time. And they seem to manage just fine, most of them. I'm not saying their life is great, but what I'm getting at is they've figured out where to get food, where to get water. They have shelter when they need it, if they're not too high or drunk. And they've sort of gotten lay of the land. And if you really want to compare the woods to the city, there's just way more resources in the city. There's makeshift shelters everywhere. There's water attached to the side of every building. There's a lot of food being wasted and thrown out, as there is stuff you could use to make stuff out of. So I really think that there's something to urban craft, as they say. If I had to bug out, I would be going total gray man. I don't want people looking at me. I don't want to attract attention. Things like making a fire, for example. I'm not going to be doing that often unless I have to cook something. And even then, the fire's going to be quick, Light, I'm not going to be using a lot of light. I want to stay quiet. I want to, hunker down, and I want to move quietly from one place to the next under cover of darkness during the day. I'd probably hold up somewhere that I found safe and scrapperoon if I had to, but I'd be looking to avoid it. The last thing you want is, to fire a shot. That just gives away your position for miles. So that's my contention. So when it came to a mechanism, that was my first thing I thought about. Was, okay, what mechanism would I bring with me? And as I thought about it, it came down between the Glock 19 in 9mm and my shield here. And eventually I went with the shield. And the reason being is, in a rig like this by Crossbreed, I can wear this appendix, have this in my working space, have it totally concealed, and be on the move. It's not on my hip as my Glock would be. I can conceal the Glock too, but I have a light on it. I would prefer to keep the light on it. It's just a little more blocky. I got a little bit more belly than I used to have, so I can still wear this just fine. But the Glock's getting a little uncomfortable if I had to run for long periods of time. It might be annoying. This is actually very, very comfortable for me. I have a tier 1 concealment wedge on the back. Seems to help it. I don't mind wearing this at all. This actually is very, very nice. So 10 rounds in the mechanism. You got 12 rounds on tap here. And then on my belt, I would be wearing a couple of 15-round mags. So here's 30 more rounds here. I'd feel pretty confident with that. And remember, I'm not trying to use the mechanism at all, if I can help it. I don't want to attract attention. So that's just my mechanism. That's for scrapperoonies. That's if I have to. You'd be foolish not to have a mechanism. But I thought about my shotgun, I thought about a rifle, I thought about some of my other bigger handguns, and I'm not going out there looking for battle. I'm not wearing my armor, I'm not doing any of that. Backpack, coat, head down, hat, not bothering anybody, I'm just moving. Leave me alone, nothing to see here kind of guy. And that helped inform my decision for my flashlight too. So I have that big Phoenix R36 Pro that I love. It's got like crazy throw, it's super bright, but again, I'm not trying to make a bunch of light everywhere I go either. I'm not trying to attract attention. On top of that, that light is recharge only. So this light, this is a Well Tool T1 Pro, the little Duke. And the reason I choose this light is because it's very bright and it actually throws pretty far for its size, but it'll take a AA battery, which is awesome. So this is rechargeable, but I can also throw a AA in there and it'll work just fine. That really mattered a lot to me. I thought of the ProTac, the Streamlight ProTac that takes a few different fuel sources, but it's a little blocky, it's a little big, and again, I'm not trying to use it all the time. I do count on being able to charge via USB because I do have a power brick that I can use. That's solar operated, so I'm probably fine, but I like the idea that this can take AA's. So that's kind of what knocked out the micro stream here, is because this is just rechargeable only. Great light, but I prefer the Little Duke. This is my favorite. Plus, this is pretty bulletproof. I've washed this before. It survived. I've dropped it a bunch of times. The finish is holding up fine. It's reversible. You can wear this in a ball cap if you wanted it to be a headlamp. I really like the momentary on this. The tail cap's really nice. I can put my finger over this and just kind of make a little bit of light when I need. So this would be my choice for a light. I think it's a fine choice. Now that brings me to... let's talk about a cutting tool. No surprise to you guys, I'm sure the Endura 4. This is my favorite folding knife of all time, and with the wave feature on this, it's actually pretty good for tater digging too. If I get into a pinch, close quarters, I would count on this to do something awful. So I really love this knife. Very thin, 4 ounces, you can't beat it. Takes me to my watch. Again, no surprise to you guys. The G-Shock Solar 5600 Blackout. This is my favorite watch of all time. I will never need to set the time on this, and I will never need to replace the battery. That's huge. It's solar charged, just a half hour in sunlight. You're good for months. Love, love, love this watch. It's my favorite of all time. It's definitely coming with me. And then I thought about it. Urban environment. I was going to bring, for a multi-tool, my Evo 18. I really love this. But honestly, in an urban environment, there's 2 tools that the Evo 18 does not have that I felt that I would need. And it led me to this kind of generic multi-tool by R Black. There's a couple of tools that really did it for me here, and the reason why I'm bringing this. One, I really like the saw on this, which is great, but you don't really need that all the time. You got an extra knife there, you got another extra knife there with gut hook, partially serrated, and then check this out. So this is one of the reasons I'm going with this. A file, a metal file. Wood on this side, metal here. That would be huge if I have to get through something, like a lock. Something metal I gotta get through, and then that takes me to my next point, pliers. Why are pliers really important? Well, I don't have a water key. I never really got one. They're kind of heavy. A water key weighs about as much as this one, give or take. I've actually used pliers like this to get water out of the side of the building when I didn't have a water key, when I was an HVAC guy. And this did work. In a pinch, this will work. You can get in there, you can pinch that little lug, and then you just kind of turn it, and the water will come out. So I can actually get water with this. There's a lot I can do. You know, I got my Phillips head flathead here, can opener, and very, very important to me, actually, one of the reasons I love the Evo 18 is for the scissor feature. And these have really good scissors too. So that's very important. I can cut my toenails. I can do a lot of stuff with this. Sounds goofy, but it was actually pretty important to me. So yeah, I had to go with a multi-tool. Now this one you can wear in the pocket. It's got a nice clip, but I think I would just throw this on the belt as long as the canvas sheath held up, which probably wouldn't be for very long, but since it's brand new, it'd probably be good for my first couple of weeks out there. As far as a fixed blade, you guys know I would love nothing more than to bring my beloved CM6. That would be great. I just don't see it happening. Now I can wear this on the small of the back Scout and conceal it fairly well, and this might work. But if I'm being pragmatic and realistic, it's still just a little too big. And so if I had my druthers and it's like zombie time out there, I'm strapping on my work tough gear, Lanzetta knife, and we will find out who's a tough zombie, okay? We'll figure it out. I mean, this is close quarter badness, but this is more like my woods bug out, and it's a lot of weight. I don't know, 1/4 inch steel. I just couldn't justify this. It would attract so much attention on my hip. You know what I mean? Awesome freaking knife. And yeah, I just want an excuse to show it off. Thank you, Work Tough, for sending it in. But like, you know, I love it. It just doesn't suit my goal of being quiet and quick. So this is out. And this would be like, I'd have to really need it, you know? And I just can't justify it in an urban environment. There's not a lot of call for this. Yeah, maybe tater digging, but honestly, for tater digging, Endura 4, good enough. And speaking of tater digging and fixed blades, there is enough room for my Tops ice dagger. This I can bring. I can strap this to my back, and what I like about this is I have 3 inches of cutting edge on either side. So this could be very, very useful. The reinforced tip, really good for punching into certain material if I had to get through it. I don't know. I just think this would be really good. Potential tater digger too. Little bit of redundancy here. I kind of don't need this, to be honest, but I really wanted to bring another cutting implement. The show's not called 5-minute hula hoops. You know, I love knives. Of course, I'm going to double up on knives. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 knives. That makes sense for a guy like me. I'm a knife junkie. I'd probably have a bunch of knives on me, but they have to be lightweight and they have to be justified. This, if I didn't find a good spot on my belt and I didn't feel comfortable moving with it, I'd leave this behind. But I'd probably bring it if I had to go right now. Fire starting. I mean, getting warm is really important. If I got into a safe place and I could have a fire, I would get something like this. This is the Explorer lighter, which is waterproof, and that's one of the reasons I love it. It's very, very cool, and it makes like this, like, you know, cross flame thing here, this electric flame. It is USB rechargeable, so for some redundancy, I also have a ferro rod that comes with a built-in striker. This is the Exotac Strikey Business, I think it's called. And how this works is you just kind of push this out, take this, which is the striker part here, and you can, you know, make your sparks with that. So this is cool. I always have my striker and ferro rod together. It's one of the reasons I really prefer this model of the Exotac. I just freaking love it. I have a bunch of these in packs and stuff. So this would go with me. Some lip balm. There's a bunch of uses for this, but honestly, I just put it on my quips. And I would also have a few silver pieces with me. This is like a samurai silver bar, 1 troy ounce, 0.99 fine, but it's 1 troy ounce. I'd probably have 5 or 6 of these on me. Without rule of law, if I'm really like bugging out, people might still be taking money out there, but I guarantee you that they'll take silver or gold. You know, so if you have a few small pieces, grab them. It couldn't hurt. So I'd bring this partially for luck, but also for trading of some kind. And then I have my wallet. It's got all my IDs on it. I don't need credit cards anymore or anything like that, probably, but I'm hoping that rule of law comes back quickly. And, you know, the idea is we can't count on being down and out forever. I mean, if we are, it's just the end of everything. But I'm sure some sort of structure would come back somehow. So that's it. This is what I would grab in a pinch. It's modest, but I think I'd have a better time surviving in the city than in the woods. There's just a lot more shelter options. There's a lot more food being thrown around. You know, you can Mad Max it pretty easily here. Out in the woods, you really have to know what you're doing. You eat the wrong thing, you're a dead man. You get a cut and it gets infected, you're a dead man. And as far as like scrapperoonie times, woods is tough, man. You gotta know what you're doing. You need a rifle of some kind. You need to be good with it. It's not really my jam. I'm more of a small mechanism kind of guy. I'm more of a grab your shirt kind of guy if I gotta. But on a whole, I ain't looking for no scrapperoonies. I'm not trying to be bothered by anybody. I don't want anybody to look at me and think that I have something that they can have. You know, I have my like little bug out outfit picked out, my backpack picked out. Nothing really stands out. Most of this is all concealed anyway, so you wouldn't even know I had it on me. It's not a big deal, but this is the stuff that would keep me company. I have a solar radio, multi-band radio with a charger in it. That's in my bag. I have some Mountain House meals. I have a little small cooking stove, a way to boil water. Oh, and probably the most important thing, we didn't even really bring this up, is a water bottle of some kind. You know, this is in the side of my backpack here, and I would fill this up all the time. Go to the side of the building, use the old multi-tool, fill up my water bottle, and just keep it pushing. So that's my contention. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. List your stuff in the comments, you know, kind of match this. Doesn't have to be everything. You know, we obviously know you need some sort of medical. I would have stuff for like blisters and things like that. That's all in my backpack. Hygiene stuff is very important. I have toothbrushes and deodorant and all that stuff. But really, if I'm talking about the gear on my person, it would be this. Right now, it would be this. And it's not the sexiest lineup in the world, but this would get me through a lot of stuff. My plan would be to kind of stick to myself until I got lay of the land and figured it out. So yeah, this is what I would bring if I had to leave right now. If I had to leave the house right now, all this crap would be on me. Grab my backpack, which is already packed. I have my outfit picked out that I would need. I have the footwear that I would have on. Ball cap, light jacket, and see you later. I do have like a military poncho in there for, you know, makeshift shelter, or if it's raining, can go over all my gear. But other than that, that's it. It's not very sexy, but it's very functional. This is my get up and go stuff. and I would be creeping around the city. I'd be checking out dumpsters. I'd be going into old shopping centers that were abandoned. I'd be going, just making my way through, probably heading south. I mean, if I could, I'd get in the car, but if the roads are locked up, it's going to be useless. Those of you that have a motorcycle, you're in good shape there, but again, gas is going to be a problem, so maybe even a bicycle might be the best way to get around. That's the way I look at it. I would avoid confrontation at all costs. I would avoid being noticed as much as possible. And I would just behave myself and just make myself busy with not burning a ton of calories to find more food. And my goal would be to kind of wait it out until there was some semblance of structure again. That's my advice anyway. Bug in as long as you can. Not like I know what I'm talking about. I don't think anyone really does. Nobody's really prepared for shit hits the fan. I mean, if they are, great. I don't know. I just can't put that much money towards prepping. It just, I'm going to be 45 in a month. And it's like my whole life I've been waiting for SHTF and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm worried that I'm wasting a lot of money by prepping. It's like I have roughly what I need. If I'm in big trouble, we're all in big trouble. That's the way I look at it. So I'm not alone if this ever did happen. And the idea would be to stay calm, observe what's going on, and just try to hatch some sort of plan to last throughout the disturbance there, right? Until things got back to normal. So that's my 2 cents. I just wanted to yap at you. I didn't know what to do for a video this week, so that's that. Let's roll in the subscribe starians. You guys are amazing. By now, we had already given away one of the Work Tough Lanzettas. Right now, I got this wrapped in just this grip tape. I'll probably take it off. It's just something fun to put on there for now. It does feel really good, but I love the handles as they were. Congratulations to the winner, whoever you were, on Subscribe Star. And that's about it. Just let me know in the comments what you would bring with you if you had, to leave right now. What are you grabbing? And this stuff is all ready to go, so I could just grab all this, throw it on a belt, see you later. Bye. Yeah, let me know your 2 cents. What you think of the topic. It's kind of different. It's bug out, but bug out in a different way. I'm not heading to the woods. I'm just gonna kind of creep around the city for a while and try to survive on what other people waste and throw away. Kind of scavenge. So yeah, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time right here on 5 Minute Knives.